In an international event broadcast live from Burkina Faso, President Ibrahim Traoré stood poised to deliver an announcement that would captivate millions worldwide. He had meticulously crafted his words, aware that his speech would not only embody his nation's spirit but also confront global titans, including Elon Musk, who had recently scoffed at African leaders' technological ambitions. Meanwhile, in the United States, Musk watched from his sleek SpaceX office, its walls humming with futuristic promise. He had openly derided efforts by nations like Burkina Faso to innovate locally, calling them naive and out of touch. For Musk, progress demanded billions in investment and cutting-edge infrastructure, resources he believed African countries lacked. Yet, as Traoré appeared on screen, Musk's eyes narrowed. This leader was different, his calm, steely posture radiating an unfamiliar confidence. The packed auditorium in Ouagadougou buzzed with anticipation, locals and dignitaries leaning forward. "Ladies and gentlemen," Traoré began, his voice resonating like a drum through the hall. "Today, I want to speak of something greater than our borders. True innovation." He paused, staring into the camera as if addressing each viewer personally. Innovation isn't about the costliest tools or the flashiest tech. It's about solving real problems with creativity and resolve. In Burkina Faso, we prove this daily. Musk's brow furrowed, caught off guard by the speech's clarity and weight. He braced for fiery accusations, but Traoré's tone was measured yet unyielding. The screen shifted to images of Burkina Faso's triumphs, villages glowing with solar power, smart irrigation doubling harvests, young coders crafting apps for local challenges. A murmur rippled through the crowd, pride swelling in their cheers. "And so," Traoré declared, his voice now a forceful crescendo, "I have a message for those who doubt our ability to innovate, who think billions are required to transform lives." Traoré paused again, letting his words settle like dust. "After a storm, we want to remind you of something vital. True transformation doesn't stem from vast fortunes or imported tech. It comes from a people's dignity and ability to solve their own problems." Musk felt a chill snake down his spine in his SpaceX office, the screens glowing coldly around him. He knew that arrow was aimed at him. After Traoré's speech, Elon Musk sat silent for minutes, the Burkina Faso president's words looping in his mind. True transformation comes from dignity and ability. Those words challenged his core beliefs about innovation, which he'd always tied to billions in funding and elite infrastructure. Yet Traoré's examples, solar panels lighting remote villages, smart irrigation boosting harvests, young coders crafting local apps, proved innovation could be grassroots, reachable. Intrigued, Musk chose to respond publicly, a rare move for a man who sidestepped most criticism. He typed a post on X, "Just watched President Traoré's speech. Your message was powerful. Perhaps I underestimated what nations like Burkina Faso can achieve with creativity and resolve. Time to rethink some things." The post exploded online, shocking followers worldwide. Hashtags like "A Musk meets Traoré" and "Burkina Rises" surged, clips of Traoré's speech racking up millions of views. In Ouagadougou, Traoré watched Musk's response with a quiet smile, his aides exchanging stunned glances. This wasn't just a reply. It was a crack in the global narrative, a step toward collaboration. During a live interview with a local broadcaster, the host leaned in, eyes wide, asking about Musk's reaction. Traoré's gaze sharpened, the room electric with anticipation. "Did you expect that answer?" the journalist asked, leaning forward, microphone trembling with anticipation. Ibrahim Traoré shook his head calmly, his eyes steady in the Ouagadougou studio's glare. "I don't work for approval," he said, voice like tempered steel. "But I'm glad my message reached someone like Mr. Musk. It proves genuine gestures, can cross borders and shift mindsets. The crowd erupted, their cheers shaking the room, a defiant roar echoing across Burkina Faso. The exchange between Traoré and Elon Musk ignited global reverberations, dominating headlines from Lagos to London. Traoré's bold vision, paired with Musk's rare concession, sparked debates about innovation's true roots. In the U.S., Musk, pacing his SpaceX boardroom, rethought his stance on Africa. "We've been narrow-minded," he told his team, screens flashing with Burkina Faso's solar villages. "I propose innovation without borders, a program to support local tech in African nations. We won't dictate solutions. We'll learn from leaders like Traoré and collaborate on what communities need." The team nodded, inspired by his pivot. Meanwhile, in Burkina Faso, Traoré launched Technology for Dignity, a campaign to empower young Burkinabe to tackle local challenges with tech. Schools rolled out coding, robotics, and renewable energy courses funded by public coffers and global partners. In a dusty village, 16-year-old Fatou became a beacon of success, her app linking farmers to urban markets, tripling their income. "Before, we scraped by," she told a local broadcaster, eyes shining. "Now I'm lifting others up, thanks to President Traoré and Mr. Musk's support." International media swarmed, praising Traoré's knack for turning criticism into opportunity. A New York Times columnist wrote, "Traoré proves leadership isn't power or prestige. It's honoring every individual's worth with humility and purpose." Social media buzzed with Tech for Dignity, clips of Fatou's story going viral. The Traoré-Musk bond, though distant, became a global emblem of collaboration. In Ouagadougou's markets, vendors discussed it over tea. In Silicon Valley, coders shared Traoré's speech. For many, this wasn't just a moment. It was a movement, proving innovation thrives where dignity drives it. This was more than a fleeting acknowledgement. It was proof that kindness can bridge worlds apart. During a visit to a sun-scorched village thriving under the Technology for Dignity program, President Ibrahim Traoré met Mamadou, a shy girl clutching a new notebook, her school uniform crisp thanks to international aid. She stepped forward, trembling, eyes wide with reverence. "Mr. President," she whispered, voice quivering, "this is for you. I want to show we're learning with what we've been given." Traoré knelt, his smile warm, eyes glistening. "Mamadou, you don't owe us. You're proving that with the right tools, you can conquer the world." Villagers gasped, some wiping tears, as cameras captured the moment. Shared across X, the clip exploded. Chow dignity rising trending globally, reinforcing that small acts spark monumental change. For many, this wasn't just political. It was leadership that ignites purpose and empowers with dignity. Months after Traoré's exchange with Elon Musk, Burkina Faso reaped the fruits of this bold vision. Dialogues between global leaders and local communities strengthened ties and ushered in a new era of mutual respect. In Ouagadougou's heart, a grand ceremony drew hundreds, coders, farmers, and journalists who'd tracked the story from its start. Traoré took the stage in traditional Burkinabe attire, his presence commanding yet humble. "Today," he said, voice thick with emotion, "we don't just celebrate policies or numbers. We honor those who built this nation with their hands and minds. You are Burkina Faso's true pillars." The crowd roared, fists raised, pride surging like a tide. Traoré paused, letting his words resonate, then continued, "When I spoke to Mr. Musk, he made me reflect. Genuine gestures transcend politics, culture, even personal divides. Now, we're proving it together." Global outlets amplified the scene from BBC to Al Jazeera, hailing Traoré's ability to turn a challenge into unity. In rural schools, children like Mamadou coded apps, their dreams no longer bound by borders. At the Ouagadougou ceremony's close, A child handed President Ibrahim Traoré a handmade wooden sculpture. Two figures holding hands, etched with kindness, unites worlds. Traoré's smile deepened, clutching the gift tightly. This wasn't just a keepsake, it was a testament that small acts ignite vast change. As the crowd dispersed, their cheers lingering like a heartbeat, Traoré approached a family, early beneficiaries of technology for dignity. He knelt to an 8-year-old girl clutching a cloth doll, her eyes bright with hope. "How's your new life?" he asked, voice warm. Shyly, she replied, "I'm learning at school, Mr. President, and now I can dream." Traoré's heart swelled, her sincerity the true measure of success, not resources but lives transformed. A journalist scribbled, "Today in Burkina Faso, I saw Africa's future, rooted in history, honoring its heroes, building bridges of dignity." The Traoré-Musk saga became a global beacon, showing compassion reshapes lives. In the U.S., Elon Musk watched, awe growing. During a live CNN interview, he stunned viewers. "Traoré's special. He's proving Burkina Faso can stand tall. I underestimated him." The clip trended. Kindness unites, amplifying the message of unity through leadership. Meanwhile, in Bobo Dioulasso, Fatou trudged toward a community center, heart heavy with urgent news. She'd traveled far to meet Marie and Malik, knowing this moment was pivotal. Inside, Marie, tears streaming as she spoke on the phone, saw Fatou and whispered, "She's here. It's happening." Malik, in a worn sweater, greeted her, sensing her burden. "Thanks for coming," Marie said, forcing a smile. "We know this is tough." The center buzzed with locals, inspired by Traoré's vision, sharing stories of rebuilt lives. Fatou's arrival, cloaked in resolve, hinted at a new chapter, her courage echoing the movement's spirit. Across X, posts hailed Traoré's humility, weaving Fatou's journey into a global call for dignity. Fatou nodded, her hands trembling faintly, dust from her journey clinging to her worn shoes. "I needed to be here," she whispered, voice barely a thread, "to see what you're building with my own eyes." Marie guided her to a private room in the Bobo Dioulasso Community Center, where maps and documents sprawled across a table, blueprints of hope. Malik stood quiet, his torn sweater a testament to his own struggles, but his eyes burned with solidarity. "Fatou," Marie began, voice soft yet resolute. "The future feels uncertain, but you're not alone. We're here to lift you up." Fatou's gaze met theirs, gratitude warring with fear. "What's next for my family?" she asked, voice quaking. Marie sighed deeply. "We can't promise ease," she said, "but we guarantee tools and resources to rebuild. This center exists to help you find strength and hope." Malik placed a gentle hand on Fatou's shoulder. "Coming here took courage," he said. "That's more than most could muster." Fatou exhaled, a flicker of relief easing her burden, the first light in weeks piercing her despair. Outside, the center pulsed with life as community members arrived for Marie and Malik's event, inspired by Traoré's technology for dignity. The hall brimmed with farmers, coders, and mothers, all seeking connection. On a makeshift stage, Marie's voice soared, raw with emotion. "Today, we affirm human dignity is non-negotiable. No matter the odds, we deserve respect and compassion." She paused, words sinking in. "This center wasn't just us. It's your stories, struggles, and victories." The crowd roared, tears streaming, fists raised in unity. From the private room, Fatou watched, a wave of emotion crashing over her. Even in her darkest hour, hope flickered, kindled by this community's fire. At the event's end, Fatou stepped into the main hall, drawn to faces marked by struggle and triumph. "Thank you," she told Marie, their embrace fierce. "I don't know tomorrow, but I won't face it alone." Marie smiled, gripping Fatu's hands. "We'll never be alone." The crowd's chatter swelled, tales of apps and solar panels, echoing Traoré's vision, a global movement now personal, binding them in dignity.